Come on.
Hello, my name is Denise Jones, and I am the attorney in the award-winning feature film I Do. You can see it on Tubi, Amazon Prime, and other major platforms.
Wow, it's been a lot, man. It's a lot to kind of unpeel. So sit back and kind of relax, man, as I kind of go through a little bit of this, and we could deal with the rest, on another date. But Black Lives co-founder Patrisse Cullors, right, used charity funds to pay for her brothers and child's fathers. They saying eye-watering sums of cash, and this is by way of tax documents filed with the IRS. So some of the numbers, right? Patrisse Cullors, right? Her brother's name is Paul. He saw the sum of $840,000 hit his bank account for alleged security services for the nonprofit organization. But it doesn't stop there, right? They go on to say that they invested, right, about $37 million in stocks and things. It's making up pretty much, they say, $90 million that they got so far. And they put, like I said, $32 million invested in stocks.
Interesting.
Of some of that money. So it's a long list, a 63-page document, a long list of a lot of things that they use. The house for $6 million, and just things that you typically maybe wouldn't see with a nonprofit organization. But what's your thoughts on the tax documents that's coming out for Black Lives Matter?
It's disgusting that it's another thing to just praise on the emotions of us and take advantage of us. When Black Lives Matter came about, it wasn't supposed to be about them gaining 40 some odd $million, $90 million and
Right.
cashing in on black emotion. It was supposed to be about actually getting some justice out here for a culture and a race that didn't feel like they were 100% a person. They felt more like 3/4, 2/3. Y'all know the rhetoric. Y'all remember the history books, and this is kind of how people felt. So it was this organization that was supposed to be out here gaining awareness, doing things, putting their foot to pavement and put some justice. And here we go, and motherfuckers is putting money in their pockets, like their church, like all of, like your pastors and all these other things that go ahead and put black emotion on faith and take and steal and rob and pillage from people that don't even have the money really anyway. It's absolutely disgusting. And the people and the personalities in play on Black Lives Matter and the United Freedoms and other places, I mean, they're very quiet, and it's very interesting.
We'll talk about that, man. We'll put that on the back end of this.
Yeah.
Another one, though, it was a chartered flight at expense for $73,000. Now, looking at this and kind of dissecting this thing, what I think happened, and I hope that I'm wrong, right, is that they came into a shitload of money, and I could be wrong. I'm not saying this is fact. And they, different, as a way to disperse it to different family members, it almost be like, okay, I got $1 million. You make this security company. I'm gonna hire you to do this shit. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I think was
watch this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little shit like that, and then the big money coming in, so they're gonna live lavish. They're gonna get charter flights, jets, $6 million on a mansion. We made it now. This is more of a celebrity thing, as like Sam Ant crushed it in the beginning, saying that this was supposed to be people to get justice, in particular black people that was getting gunned down by the police and treated unfairly, but it turned into a goddamn money grab where people became rich, celebrities off of black suffering, man. What about the people? What about the people who are connected to this? A lot of people like to call them ambulance chasers, but the people who, every time you turn around, they got something to say about this and this and that, but something where is directly involving them and the organization that they, have been involved with, you don't hear anything. It's crickets.
And there's never any accountability over money that are donated or given
That's
to
a common
cause.
theme. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a very common theme. And when are they going to be held accountable? Because we can sit back and go, you're not doing this to white folk here, but your white folk aren't taking your money like that. Unless you're giving it to Walmart or Macy's or whatever the case may be out here to these different variable businesses, but they're not preying on your emotion like a Black Lives Matter. What have they done? When are we going to hold these people accountable that are putting faith toward action when it comes to our lives And not and I'm not talking about mine and your lives in particular, but I'm talking about us as a fucking culture. You know what I'm saying? When are we going to start holding these people accountable when they take our money and we see nothing, absolutely nothing in return, but brothers getting businesses, security businesses for 850 racks and stocks and bonds being and IRAs and shit for millions
What does
of
that have to do
dollars.
with anything? That's crazy. What are you doing buying stocks? You trying to come up?
Generational wealth for yours.
Right. Yeah.
But what is that? Isn't that money supposed to be put to? And I'm not saying that. Look, listen. I'm not saying that they didn't deserve something.
Oh yeah,
When you put to work this kind of shit, you deserve to get compensated for it. But also, where's that money that people have donated their last to? Where's the outcome? Where's the flower that the seed's supposed to fucking produce by donating all that money? Where are we getting any advancement out here? When we see all these other people getting all these different things and shit, everything going around, millions here and billions here, and the Ukraine got all this and this and that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we getting gunned down because people still feel some type of way when reparations even gets brought up. But reparations gets brought up a lot in your speech. Like you said, when you ambulance chase, great fucking term. You hear reparations a lot, they fucking trigger on the emotion, and then we just sitting there generationally feeding eggs. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's really, you got the other side, and I get it. Like you said, people got to live and whatnot, and, things got to be paid for. It's big business in a sense. I get it. But how do you justify and explain a $6 million mansion? How does that help the people? You know what I'm saying? Like, even the churches need to be called out on stuff like this. Creflo dollars and $40 million jets or $100 million jets and all the type of crazy shit that's going on. Big lavish lifestyles. You buy Louis Vuitton and, Gucci and shit like that. Like, you're a pastor. Like, if you talking about you coming in the spirit of Jesus, Jesus was out in the street with the people.
Facts.
Wasn't in no mansion, you know what I mean? Spoils of gold and concubines and shit. This shit is turned. It's totally turned. It was never supposed to be this way. I'm not saying that people that's supposed to represent are supposed to be broke.
Facts.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, yo, how do you account for that type of money being spent? And then the lady steps down, you know what I mean, because of the backlash. But it's like, you're fucking rich now.
Oh yeah, good.
You're rich.
Now you're trying to get out of the way so you can go
Right.
and spend your money.
It's crazy, man. To me, it's just, and maybe this is something for JT, the pocket watcher, to deal with, a topic that he could deal with better, like, because he deals with different nonprofits and things, and probably gets a chance to look at their books and what they're spending. Maybe we're off base on this, but I doubt it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And what do you think about the personalities in play? And I got to call out names, and we have invited them on the platform. They're still more than welcome to come on the platform, because although names are in question, there's still a level of respect there, and we would love to ask them these questions face to face and talk to them as adults in a respectful manner. But Tamika Mallory,
Right.
my son,
Right.
where are these people condemning this behavior at? And our tax and I don't think any tax information came out about them or what anything they received, so we can't sit back and speculate that they did or did not receive any funds. But do you feel as though they should be saying something right now? Because I kind of do.
I think it's early. It's still early,
Yeah.
so we're giving the benefit of the doubt. When I looked, we both looked before we did this.
Right.
We didn't see anything. Don't mean that something might not be coming. Maybe a video's being recorded now, post tomorrow. Maybe they're waiting for more information. But if not, again, we want to love to have my son on. I'm sure he's going to hear about this whenever this video goes out. I'm positive. And if he wants to come on, hit us up. And you can come on. We can talk about this thing face to face, or on the virtual, however you want to do it. But
Yes,
I just think that it definitely deserves an explanation when you got people that stand and they want to, stand at the forefront for black people. Nothing wrong with that, but all types of issues got to be, addressed. And this is one that definitely have to be addressed. Not saying you got anything to do with it.
Right.
We ain't saying that, but it's almost like it's the same type of organization. Like, you run that Until Freedom thing is the same type of thing. No smut on their name yet because we hadn't seen their financials come out. You know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely deserves an explanation for these people to come up and say something and condemn or take their side. Maybe you can explain it. Maybe you can say this is a big business. They had to spend this for this. You don't know how much security we needed. Like, how do you justify? Maybe I'm just, I don't know, $900,000 damn near in security. Like, who are you fucking guarding, man? Like, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe we off base with it.
Yeah, and we got to ask the source. We got to ask the sources, people that were involved, and to get direct answers, because our opinion is our opinion. We got like assholes. Everybody got it. But what do you think about this analogy? Oh, because it kind of reminds me of what was I thinking about?
Umar Johnson? No.
Not shit.
Oh, okay.
That hustling ass nigga. The Sandusky case in Penn State. And this is what I mean by this.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
You got people that are out here doing wrong. Yep. You got Joe Paterno, who's beloved by Penn State throughout generations, that did not do anything directly. Name wasn't on the paperwork of doing anything directly, but he knew about it and he didn't say shit. And in that, he was still guilty. Do you think that this kind of falls in line with that?
It could.
Yeah.
I think time would definitely tell, and if it does, we'll come back on and let you guys know.
Fact.
It could be one of those situations where you don't want to bite the hand that's feeding you, and this is why states and federal governments have these different laws in place for nonprofits to be transparent, so that people can see what's going on with the money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we got a right. The people got a right to see it. They got a right to scrutinize it. They got a right to judge it. And they got a right to withdraw their support.
Right.
If they don't like the way the money is being spent. This is alarming.
Yeah.
This is alarming. Like, you got it. She even like the mansion thing. She really couldn't even explain that. People kind of let that slide under the rug with such forgiving people. Okay, maybe, but whatever. This is alarming right here. But I honestly, I never really expected nothing from Black Lives Matter, man. Honestly,
Me
I
either.
thought it was more something like you see on the road. People put it up on their doors, kind of like a slogan. So this is kind of what I expect, unfortunately, with these type of organizations.
Did you think they had 42 milli, 90 milli? Did you think the numbers was hitting that? I don't know if I did. I mean, I didn't think that they was out here getting. I knew they was getting money.
I never thought about the number.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I mean, if you would have asked me, I was like, oh, yeah, they getting some money. I mean, you did figure this is a worldwide thing. You got. I mean, they not only like your Tom, Dick, and Harry donating. You got organizations donating. Yeah. All types of things donating to this. For whatever reason, maybe they feel guilt. Maybe they feel like they want to support, whatever the reason be. And that it turned into almost like the NAACP type thing. Like, if you want to help black people, donate to Black Lives Matter. If you feel sorry for black people, donate to Black Lives Matter. If I want to, get rid of, maybe I felt guilty because my ancestors were this and that, I'm just going to give some money to Black Lives Matter and everything's even. That's what I think it turned into. And, the founders, man, they got to be held accountable. The people on the board or whatever got to be held accountable for the way the money is dispersed. You don't see stuff on there like, okay, in the community, maybe it's there.
Yeah.
When go fed kids, bought book bags. You don't see that. Maybe the news is just highlighting the negative shit, but I ain't see nothing like that yet. Maybe we got to dig through the report a little bit deeper. But like, what's being highlighted is like, okay, this is the shit that's blaring right here. Like, damn, $73,000 on a charter flight. Woo, $73,000 on a charter flight. 36 in stocks. Like, what are you doing, man?
How many funerals do they pay for some of these lives that have been lost unjustly due to violence, and where have they been put in place to where we can kind of get some of this shit mediated and put some people in place to where we can start policing ourselves with $90 million and $850,000 budget for security? What were you securing, like you said, the president?
And it's like this too. It's like, come sit down and talk to a grassroots platform. Stop going to the TMZs, and no disrespect to these platforms and the other platforms, and talk to them. Come sit down with a real grassroots platform that's going to ask you the real questions from the people on the ground, man. Anybody is welcome. Mike Sons, Tamika Mallory's, the Colliers, any of them, the Black Lives Matter. You're all welcome to come on here, and we can ask you and dig into some real questions, to ask you guys.
In the most respectful way. It'll be nothing but love in here, but
right.
The questions have to be asked, and we'll sit back and we'll listen 100%, but we'll see. Don't look good, like you said. It don't look good. Accountability must be had, and we'll see what